Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So,
We landed on the moon!
Japan has officially joined the Moon Landing Club, a club that has previously only had 4 other members. But then it kind of fell over on its face? Kind of? I'm sure you've all seen this photo. So what does this mean? What's going to happen with the lander? And is it a successful landing if your lander does a faceplant? Maybe. Let's get into it. So as I said, on January 19th, JAXA, Japan's space agency, had its robotic SLIM spacecraft land on the lunar surface. This landing made it the 5th country to land on the moon. SLIM, which is short for Smart Lander for Investigating Moon, launched last September along with an X-ray space telescope called XR-ISM. The probe took a long and looping route toward the moon, finally arriving in lunar orbit on Christmas Day. And on its descent, everything appeared to go smoothly. SLIM hit its various milestones during the descent, and the lander communicated with its handlers all the way through. However, JAXA couldn't immediately confirm SLIM's status after landing. About an hour later, the agency gave a press conference explaining the probe's power problems. Originally, it was a bit unclear why the solar cells weren't working. JAXA didn't believe that they were damaged during touchdown because SLIM's hardware all appeared to be working. So they thought, well, the lander just isn't oriented towards the sun as expected, which ended up kind of being right, just not the way they thought. Now, SLIM is designed primarily as a landing tech demonstrator. Mostly, it's there to prove that Japan can land on the moon. But it's designed to perform some science work during its surface mission, which is expected to last 1 lunar day, which is basically 2 Earth weeks. And the idea with the 1 lunar day is that SLIM doesn't have heaters to protect its electronics during a frigid lunar night. The probe weighs just 440 pounds without propellant, and the mission cost about 18 billion yen, or $120 million US, according to the Planetary Society, which is actually quite modest. SLIM aimed to show that small, relatively inexpensive spacecraft are capable of impressive exploration feats, like landing on the moon. SLIM also carries 2 tiny rovers, a little hopper called LEV-1 and a ball-shaped craft known as LEV-2. LEV is short for Lunar Excursion Vehicle. These little robots were designed to deploy from the SLIM mothership, gather some data of their own, and snap photos. And they did. Despite the angle, they were able to deploy and appeared undamaged. And that is how we got this gem. And JAXA fully realized what they were dealing with. This awkward landing meant that SLIM's solar panels were in shadow, and the moon lander quickly fell silent 2 days later when its batteries ran out. However, on January 29th, SLIM phoned home, so to speak. That portion of the moon was in sunlight again, and photos started being sent back. The space agency still isn't entirely sure what went wrong. At about 55 yards above the ground, the spacecraft performed an obstacle avoidance maneuver. And just prior to this step, one of the 2 main engines stopped thrusting, throwing the lander's orientation off. But JAXA is continuing to investigate what caused the engine problem. Now, while JAXA hasn't said how long SLIM will conduct its observations from its skewed state, the mission is designed to carry on as long as sunlight is available. There is some talk of the design perhaps being robust enough that it can wake up from hibernation next month and keep doing even more science. But I guess we will just have to wait and see. But aside from the landing being a bit awkward, JAXA does seem fairly pleased. Yamakawa Hiroshi, president of JAXA, said, "First and foremost, landing was successful. Going forward, we should be able to access the lunar surface. I believe that there is a path opening to that now." And everyone's favorite Bill Nye chimed in, adding, "Global interest in the moon is growing, with many nations and commercial entities entering the field. As lunar exploration advances, so will the need to target specific sites to address salient science questions. SLIM's mission architecture hopes to shift the standards of lunar landing missions from touching down where it's easy to setting down exactly where desired." And it appears that SLIM did achieve the desired landing precision. JAXA officials said during a press conference that it was within 100 meters of its desired landing site, which is definitely impressive. The faceplant is a bit funny. So I think, unfortunately, it did sort of steal the thunder of that achievement. So I guess we'll have to see if Slim does come out of hibernation during the lunar night and keeps doing its scientific work. There does seem to be some differing opinions on the internet about whether or not the hardware can survive the frigid temperatures, but I guess we will just have to see. And it does kind of remind me of Ingenuity in a way. When your stuff breaks or tips over, when you send it hundreds of thousands of miles away, it just sort of stays broken or tipped over. And we can't really do anything about it. That's just how it is. I feel like there's some kind of phobia about that, like people who just can't leave something broken or tipped over, like they have to fix it. Like when you see a dog's ear flipped inside out, you just like have to flip it back. I feel like those people would be going crazy right now. Okay, that's it for now. If Slim does come out of hibernation, I will definitely keep you guys posted. And listen, success doesn't always look pretty sometimes. Sometimes you elegantly cross that finish line, and sometimes you do it on your face. And that's okay. So congrats, Japan. You made it to the moon. No matter what anyone says. Okay, that's it for the video. Please let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, I will see you in the next video.